What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another video about Underhoods. Today I'm going to be showing you how to change an alternator on this 2010 Ford Focus. So here's the car in question. This particular model is a 1.6 petrol. As you can see, the alternator, if you're familiar, is located at the top. I'm yet to see where the tensioner is on this vehicle, but it's going to be on the same side. So I'm thinking potentially I'm going to take off this wheel, or actually I'm probably just going to loosen the nuts on the wheel arch liner, and as you can see in there, there's a pulley for something, so I should be able to get access to the tensioner from there. First thing I'm going to do is loosen the bolt, which I've already done, for the power steering pump power steering bottle, and that's an 8mm socket, spanner, whatever you're using, and then that should allow me to, hopefully, unless it's another bolt, which I can't see. Nope. Yep. So as you can see, one nut, and that just moves out of the way, and then that will allow me to move the bracket out of the way. And also, obviously, I need to take off these two nuts here, as they're into the body of the engine. And there might be one more down the bottom. I would assume there's one more somewhere at the bottom. So, might move this hose. So let's move these two and see how we get on. So as you can see, I've removed the 15mm bolt and 15mm nut, and that's allowed the top bit to be free. There's another one at the bottom somewhere, so I'm gonna remove this hose, give me a bit more room, and hopefully it's number 15 and we just get that one off basically. Right guys, so there's another 15mm bolt just underneath the alternator on this side, so the driver's side. You put your hand like there, you just feel around, you'll feel the head of the bolt. Like I said, it's another 15. Once you've taken that off, that plate just comes free. I did put that back in just because of balance, and I couldn't seem to find the tensioner. You know, feel free to have a look online. It's what I usually do. But unless I need to, I'm not going to bother doing that, obviously, because I'm taking off the alternator. I feel that in theory, I'm hoping, that might be wrong, that by taking that off, I might take that out as well. Yeah, now my alternator is free, well, loose. I was kind of hoping by taking that off I could take the belt out like that, if that makes sense. I can, well, I think I can. Basically, I'm going to take out this bolt, which is going to be, oh no, my E10 is not in the box. Oh, that's not good. Yep, that's definitely not good. If I'm lucky, it's an E8, but somehow I doubt it. Oh, it's an E8, yes. So yeah, basically E8 is just like a female Torx, I guess. I'm going to use that and try and get that out, and then the whole thing should just drop. Not sure how I'm going to get it back on, but as I haven't got time to be looking for a tensioner, yeah, that's what I'm going with. So obviously, if you was removing just the belt, you'd need to know where the tensioner is, so you could loosen the tensioner and take off the belt. Tensioner is basically like a pulley that tightens the belt and loosens it, so if you release a tensioner, the belt will become very slack, and you can just pull it off of whatever you're trying to pull it off of, whichever pulley you're trying to get it off of. Yeah, I did end up taking off the inner or front part of the wheel arch lining, which is a T30. You get a T30 Torx there, and there's two T30s on the inside, but it was no use to me, so I'll just be putting that back untouched basically. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and take this bolt off, and then we'll see if the alternator loosens up. After doing that, take off your negative terminal so you don't create no hazard for yourself or any damage to the vehicle, and then basically once you take off the negative terminal, you can take off the connections for the alternator, and then hopefully we can get the new one in. So we'll see how that goes. yeah, so as you can see, that solved my problem. Belt's loose. I think getting it on is going to be a bit of an effort. If you do decide to do the alternator and you're unsure of the tensioner location, like I said, this might be a bit of a challenge putting it back on, but getting it off was a lot easier than I would anticipated. Basically, that's an E8. Just treat it like a normal bolt. Comes out, and then yeah, voila. Belt's just going to slide off. I think it's going to be an issue for me to get it back on by myself, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to proceed to take off the negative terminal on the battery, which is looking like 10 mil, I'm guessing. Yep, 10 mil. Just the negative's fine. I'll take off both of them. So yeah, you take the negative terminal off and just sit on the battery, make sure it's not touching anything metal. If you feel more comfortable, just put a cloth under it or something that just obviously doesn't conduct electricity, and then at least you don't have to worry about that basically. So yeah, that done. Basically remove that little cover there, and underneath you will find what looks to be a 10 mil nut. Where's that? Just grab that again. Yep, 10 mil on that one, and then there's that little electrical connector there, which you usually just pinch somewhere. I think it's on the side of this one. Yeah, it's basically a pinch situation. Just find the little bit you press, or it might be something you have to insert a flat screwdriver into and just kind of lift to get it out. But yeah, that's fairly easy. Take them two off. Compare the old alternator with the new one. Make sure that they're the same, because you know sometimes part suppliers supply the wrong alternator, believe it or not. I have been in that situation before. It's very annoying, and being as it's a Sunday, that would be very, very annoying, because obviously I can't go to that said part shop and get a replacement one. So yeah, here's to hoping, I guess. So I found it a bit easier to take this off first, which I said was a 10 mil nut. Once you do that, it gives you access to the side of that clip, which you press down and pull. Sorry. Yep, there we go. You just press down and pull. I didn't have much luck doing it with my fingers, so I just stuck a screwdriver in that part to squeeze it down, and that will just release that clip. And there we have one alternator. What I am not showing you, that I maybe should show you, or should have showed you, is how to test your alternator before changing your alternator, because obviously there's no point assuming your alternator is gone and it's not the alternator. I didn't actually check this one, but I am assured by the customer that it's definitely the alternator. Someone that's supposedly reliable and knows his stuff had diagnosed the issue prior to me coming, so I'm just hoping that he's right and that it is the alternator. But yeah, typically you want to diagnose that first, and you do that using a multimeter. Basically, it's quite simple. So if you want to just check out someone else's video, I'm sure there's plenty of them showing you how to test your alternator before changing it, basically. Now everything looks right. 3-pin connector on there. This one does say 14 volts and that one does say 12, but my expertise do not go that far, as in I'm not sure if the voltage makes a big difference. I think that all that basically means is that can push out 12 volts, I think, and this one can push out 14. Generally your battery for this car would probably be at a maximum of like, I think 13 volts, maybe 12.8, 13 volts, I think. So yeah, having 12 volts charging your battery
should be fine. Assuming that's what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not fully even sure myself. So if you want to have a Google and try and figure out what the bolts on an alternator means, by all means, do so. And if you do figure it out, let me know in the comments below. Hey. Yeah, so they look good. They look very identical, basically. So we're gonna just go ahead and try and fit that one, basically, and see how it goes. So just put it back on in the same order you took it off. So I'll put the clip on first. I seem to have misplaced the other one somewhere in here. Oh, it's obviously stuck there, isn't it? Okay. So all electrical wires reconnected. I've put the belt on. That one's a bit close, didn't realise that. Damn it. Might have to take it off again just to move that. I'm pretty sure it will go into place once it's running, but I don't really want to take any kind of chances. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove that again. But as you can see, what I've done is put the belt on, and then you're gonna have to use a little bit of strength, just a little bit, and get it up high enough to just get your two bolts in at the top. Once you've done that, I haven't tightened them. That one obviously I could tighten, but that one I haven't. Then yeah, what you're going to want to do is get your plate, tuck it back into the bottom bit, and get that bolt that's from the side in. Once you've done that, then you can take this one off, because that one's going to, you don't have to obviously take that one off again. There's going to be a nut that goes over that one. So take that one back off, put your plate for the top bit back on, and then that will be your alternator back in place. Once you've done that, obviously you can put your hose back onto the clip that it came off of, put the power steering pump back onto the bracket, and that's you good to go. I'm going to have a little bit more to do. Obviously I've got to put back on the wheel arch liner, which I will do off camera, but once we've done it, we will get the car started. Like I said, I left my multimeter, so a bit of a pain. Can't actually test it numbers wise, but to be fair, as long as it starts, I believe the battery is dead, so I'm just jump started, but as long as it starts and it stays running, then yeah, we're good to go basically. If it's not working, then the car will just cut out, because that battery's quite low, and I'll know that the alternator is not charging the battery, because obviously it will just cut out. So yes, stay tuned for the test run in hopefully the next 5 minutes. Will be like a second or two for you, but yeah, 5 minutes for me. So guys, just a little bit of information for you. I don't believe this car has a tensioner, and if you are ever changing the belt, I think that is the way you do it. You'd have to remove the alternator and do it the exact same way that I just did it, which wasn't extremely hard, to be honest. Once I got the alternator up, obviously I just stuck that in, and then got the bottom on with a bracket, tighten that one up, and now I'm just about to tighten that one up, and yeah, boom, Bob's your uncle, mate. So yeah, I believe that's the way it's supposed to be done. So I'm just going to tighten that 15, put back on this, I believe was a 10mm bolt for the pump, put the hose back in, which I could, to be fair, do now. Yeah, and get the negative terminal back on, give it a jump start, and if it runs independent, not sure what's wrong with them. God, they just done the slowest drive. Like, oh, I can see why the back door's open. He's looking at me like it's my fault, but it's not my ass hanging out at the door, so don't know why he's looking at me like that for. Anyway, so ooh, Mazzoline. Can't even show too much. Hard. What do you mean? M4 cop on the scene. Are you dumb? In the Nardo Grey, obviously, best colour to get that in. I can hear that a mile away, but yeah, that's another thing altogether there. that another one of your brothers. Nah, you're taking liberty with my life now. Right, there it is, guys. Battery was completely dead, so I've stuck jump cables on it, jumped from another car. If the alternator wasn't the issue, it would cut straight out. As you can see, the car is running the way it's supposed to be, and that basically means the alternator is charging the battery. It's doing its job, guys. So that's it from me, man. As always, thanks for checking out my videos. Make sure you comment, like and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications for future uploads. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.